Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to episode 7 of Kenshi, Birth of a Hive. Last episode, I asked all of you to vote on a lot of important things regarding this series, and here is the result. First off, I will be settling in the northwest Leviathan coast. I won't be changing the limit to the combat squads. I will be able to make all items. I will be required to recruit everyone with the Hive Queen, and I will make it a goal to have a wandering trade caravan. I'm going to restrict all my buildings to hive style. I am going to not restrict who I trade with, however. I am going to try to settle on an island, and I won't change the ratio of princes and warriors to the number of drones. I'm not going to intentionally amputate any limbs, and of course, I will be keeping the... I'm going to sort of have a compromise with this last slide here. Should I keep the restriction of only being able to craft hiver weapons because it is in conflict with one of the others? As for mods, Hives Expanded is added. More combat animation is added. Recruitment limit is added. Tame Beasties, Animal Backpacks, Adventurers Guild, and Attack Slots 3 all added. Thank you all so very much to those of you who voted, liked, subscribed, and shared so far. So a quick recap of the rules. Only the Queen can recruit. The combat squad's still going to be 10 strong. The normal squads, however, won't be. I'm just saying combat squad. These are squads that go to do attack stuff. Gear that we craft can only be equipped if it is hiver style, meaning that we can craft anything we want, but if we're going to use it, it must be hiver, meaning like pole arms and hiver clothing. No building outside of the hive, and no intentional limb amputation, and the goal added was run a trade caravan. Alright, so now I know where I'm headed. I am going to be headed towards the Leviathan coast to seek out an appropriate island to settle on. With that said, I wanted to go over some of the suggestions that you all had. So Asgolo and Mad Zombar both mentioned that Ron should be taunting. Taunting sort of encourages enemies to attack that specific target. Oh, some manhunters are trying to manhunter me because I look like an escaped slave. Mostly because I'm wearing slave-like pants. That's okay. I don't think they're going to be able to catch me. They don't even know what faction I'm a slave of. They're just like, you look like a slave. What jerks, right? As for some other tips, Larry Lewis mentioned that if I want to buy slaves from slaver camps, the best time to do it is at night when the slaves aren't working. I am more likely to be able to buy them when they're back in their cages, so thank you for that. So this episode, I hope to make some progress towards the Leviathan coast, or to add some more people to my roster. I am currently 11 strong, but because this isn't specifically a combat squad, and I don't have a home yet, it's not like I'm going to break this squad into 2 or something like that. It's unnecessary. These guys definitely aren't combat. Some of them literally don't even have weapons. Alright, so there's more manhunters over there. If I take off my... I'm just going to ditch my rag loincloth, as I will look less like a slave without it. Jeez, you're still chasing me? Alright, so at this point, I think what I'm going to do is kind of meet halfway with everyone else. I'm going to have Pillar and Lecco run. Lecco's going to get a new name soon. And Queen is just going to mess with this stupid manhunter that wants to mess with me. Yeah, that's right. I shot you for a whole lot of nothing. Manhunters are pretty well armored, so I don't suspect that this is going to be that successful. But it does keep this manhunter from messing with my naked slaves, or not slaves, but purchased slaves. I bought them fair and square, you idiot. So I'm just going to keep shooting you until you go away. Plus, I could use the gear, right? I'm more or less naked with a lot of my people, so your leather armor or whatever you're wearing, your merc stuff, will be nice for me to put on. Oops. Let him get a little closer. Her. I haven't even checked their gender. Her. I'll let her get a little close. Bash me in the head a little bit. What group are you? Hero bosses? Oh, I don't want to mess with them at the moment because I am not... I don't have my full group. Heroes are sort of xenophobic thugs. They're not particularly strong, mind you, but they will absolutely fight anything that's weird, and hivers are weird to them. So their armor is deflecting a decent amount of my crossbow shots, but I have a really crummy crossbow, so that's not all that surprising. I've shot him in the face. You can see there's like a bolt in this person's helmet and a bunch in the torso, but they just keep on coming. I can see off in the distance that my allies are coming to help me out. Oh, I think I'm out of bolts. I am out of bolts, so I'm not exactly about to throw down melee. Oh, and now they're chasing my newly acquired people. Oh, you are going to get it. Now, one of the advantages in this deeply outnumbered fight will be that the attack slots 3 will allow me to absolutely overwhelm this enemy with numbers. So as you can see here, instead of taking turns, we are all just sort of open season. Granted, there aren't big numbers here because these guys don't really have amazing weapons or anything. But this is good toughness training and practice or whatever. What I'm curious about is why the hell are these guys taking so long? Because they're not that slow. Oh, because they're supposed to be running as a group? Okay, so what I'm going to do is tell them to full sprint. Everybody's going to full sprint here, except for you 4, who are just going to continue fighting. Lekko is going to bail out of this fight and get first aided. Same with Pillar. Meat Pants is, alright, I'm gonna set you on hold. Hold means, like, don't move. Just stay where you are. Alright, backup's here. Backup with weapons. Alright, Aboro being unarmed. You're also probably gonna be set on hold. Now, martial arts is a legitimate skill. We're just not particularly skilled at it yet. Meaning there's not much of a point to, especially not with workers, to build up any martial arts skill. But maybe I'll have some workers' martial arts. Alright, so Mr. Manhunter Idiot, who likes to be outnumbered, is down. And now going to be stripped of everything. You're unconscious, and you're naked. Okay, so, Lekko, I'm going to give you the Merc Pants. You're going to look a lot less like a slave in a second. Alright, that Swamp Ninja mask drastically changed the arithmetic for whether they look like a slave or not. And once everyone else gets here, I will move some equipment around to make them look less slave-like. Oh, do I have a bunch of starving vagrants on me? I do. Alright. I don't take too kindly to anyone threatening my group, so let's regroup. What are you? I just don't want too many enemies at once, and this area is filling up pretty quick. So, the naked people are going to take off hold. Queen, you looted a weapon, right? Let's give that to a Boro. Green and Silver Shade, you are going to trade with Queen. Green, you're going to get somewhere where you're going to have less likely to have friendly fire. I just gave Queen some more ammo, so she'll be able to do some shooting. And now we're going to beat up some starving vagrants. You picked this fight. I didn't. It's not my fault. But I'll be taking your gear. I'll be taking your little horse choppers or whatever else you have. Just remember, this was on you, not on me. I don't particularly like beating up slaves, but you brought this on yourselves. Alright, so Pillar's unconscious, but just barely. Beep has a camping bed. And he's going to make it. And then he's going to put Pillar into rest position. And Pillar's already conscious, but I'm going to force them to rest. Alright, Queen. Let's see. Hella, meat pants. Pillar. So Pillar needs a weapon. First off, what I'm going to do is grab anything that a slave wouldn't wear. I'm going to stop them from wearing slave-like stuff. I'd prefer if the slavers wouldn't keep being convinced that I'm a slave, because it does get a little annoying. Because I'm constantly attacked for it, basically. And then let's loot their weapons while they're out. So some of them have non-slave-like clothing. The black here is clothing of mostly hobos and ninjas, but not slaves. All right, Oboro needs some pants. There we go. Let's keep looting. Give you some armor. Disarm them. Alright, everyone's pretty much healed up. Queen is going to rest first. Not that she's the most wounded, but that she's the queen. An injured queen is not allowed, right? Did the queen just take a hit? Yeah, she just took a hit while resting. It's kind of funny, kind of sad. Alright, Queen wants a helmet back, doesn't care which. This mast helmet can go to Hella. So Hella doesn't look like a slave anymore. The only one that looks like a slave is Pillar. Hella can give Pillar this armor. Pillar barely looks like a slave. Rearranging the squads a little bit. Is everyone conscious and able to move at a reasonable speed? Yes, more or less that is true. Alright, Ms. Queen, dismantle the camp bed. Beep, you're gonna grab it. Oh, yeah, you don't have room at the moment. Ron, you're gonna grab it. Everyone's gonna follow Thorns, and we're all gonna go head into Hang. Now that 1% looks like a slave, 1% looks like a slave, yeah. There's not a lot of good reason for anyone to attack me anymore. If they do, they're just being... Really? Really? You think I'm a slave now? Alright. Well, alright. Guess what, oh, ouch. Guess what, slave hunter? We have so much friendly fire damage going on here. It's kind of funny. I mean, we gotta level up that precision shooting anyway, right? Alright, you thought I was a slave? Well, thanks for your helmet. And your worn out shorts. And your stupid little blade. Alright, Silver Shade's taking this. Queen is taking that. The rest of them got pissed. That's fine. If the rest of them are as easy to kill as the first one, something tells me I'm not that afraid. I don't think anyone can use the armored fate. Oh, are you enslaving? No, you're medicing. Okay. That'd be really, really funny if they're like, oh, look, someone unconscious. Turning them into a slave. Oh, let's get away from the skimmer. And you're vagrant farmers, rebel farmers, whatever you're called. So let's not get too close to you. Thread the needle back into hang. I'd like to heal up and talk to the plastic surgeon to rename Lecco. There's a lot going on here, isn't there? Alright, I'm going to pause just a moment. I think there's still more healing yet to be done. Queen? She, like, kind of forgot. Where are you headed? I don't know where you're headed, but... There we go. Now she's actually doing the patching. I don't know what that AI was about. Alright, thorns. Time to go all the way into hang. Come on, get moving. And now that we absolutely don't look like a slave, people should start to leave us alone. That's not saying that they will. They do kind of what they want. Because these slavers suck. But with any luck, we'll be left alone. We'll be able to heal in the Shinobi Thieves and then make our way towards the Leviathan coast. I'm just keeping a close eye on who's around. So the guardsmen are all going to be UC police. Eventually my enemies, but not at the moment. I say eventually my enemies because the UC believes in slavery and our queen is opposed to it. Alright, Thorns can't go inside willingly. Thorns, you can wait outside. First things first, the plastic surgeon. There you are. Your name is going to be Cookie instead of Lecco, after one of my patrons. And then everyone's going to go upstairs to the third floor. There are some beds here. Queen's going to take a bed. Beep's going to take a bed. Ron's going to take a bed. And then everyone else that's wounded is going to sleep on the roof. Once the people that are bedded on the third floor heal up, we'll cycle them out. Thorns, I'm not even going to worry about. He's going to heal up soon enough. So silver and green are the only ones that aren't hungry. I'm going to have them sleep anyway, just because tongue twister. You use less food when you're resting. So we want our guys basically as healed as they can be. Thorns is climbing steps now. Cool. As healed as they can be to be able to make their way to the Leviathan coast. I think these Shinobi thieves are probably like, God, there's so many of them, and they're all in the bed. So I put the Thorn's in the bed because A, he was wounded, and B, he eats more food than green. Hiver drones don't eat a whole lot of food. And that way I'm sparing myself some money for sustenance. Alright, so we do still have some people that don't have any weapons. Alright, so Cookie has a really crummy weapon. Oh no, here we go. Cookie has a proper weapon. Who else needs a proper weapon now? Beep has one spare decent weapon. Give it to Meat Pants. Oh, Beep has two. Meat Pants and Pillar. Alright, so getting in all those fights has benefited me. I'm now equipped up. I'm waiting for everyone to heal up. Beep and Wrong going to give up their beds to Oboro and Hella. Queen's going to give up her bed to Pillar. And they should be healed up in just a minute. Then I'm going to sell off whatever excess stuff I've got, buy some Thieves' backpacks, and head for the Leviathan coast. So if I'm going to sell some stuff... Oh, Thorns isn't going to be able to get himself out of bed. If I'm going to sell some stuff, I'm going to need to not sell it to the Shinobi Thieves, because they won't pay premium for it. They'll pay much discount. They are fences, meaning they'll buy basically anything, whether it's stolen or not, and they won't really ask any questions. But as a result, they don't really pay very well for that, whatever you sell them. Alright, so Mr. How about your trade goods? Let's see. Selling this I should keep because some people could use it. Boots I'm never going to need, not in this community. Ron Club. Worn out shorts. I don't think I need them. Ron also needs to give other people bolt toothpicks. He doesn't need to keep those on his person. Other things, these staves can go. And that's about it. Cool. Not a whole lot of worth out of it, but that's fine. Alright, so Mr. Ron, give your toothpicks up to Queen. Queen can bag them. And then the last thing I want to do before I leave is talk to the Shinobi trader, see if there's any good backpacks for me to buy. Okay, I would like to take a look. Okay, there we go. There's some good weapons, but I don't think I'm going to buy them. I'm going to buy the backpacks. So the big backpacks can go on our crossbowmen, and the thieves' backpacks, the smaller ones, can go on our swordsmen. So Beep's going to take one, and Ron's going to take one. Ron's going to switch kind of backpack he has. The last person, sorry, Cookie, is going to take the trader's backpack. So Ron's going to be holding, I guess, the sleeping bag. So the Thieves' backpacks have a combat, the larger ones can hold more, but have a combat skill bonus effect, which only really matters when you're meleeing. So the meleeers have the small Thieves that have no encumbrance whatsoever. And now I'm going to consolidate gear. Oh, Pillar, you should give that up to, I guess, Oboro. We're just going to go left to right in no specific order. Alright, so now we could follow Thorns to get out of here. Let Thorns level up some athleticism. wow. I'm hungry. We don't have a lot of food, and there's skimmers, like, in the town here, so I'm just gonna stand here a bit and wait for this skimmer to get inevitably capped. I'm probably not going to be able to put a campfire that close. The fowl meat's going to be useful because all of my regular drones and soldiers will be able to eat the fowl meat, whereas the raw meat and cooked meat is going to be for princes and queens. But they all ate the regular meat pretty quickly. Who's fighting up here? A guard versus a vagrant. Oh, well, my money's on the guard. Guards almost always win. Okay, so there is some dried meat here still. And we'll get moving. Any opportunity to grab some grub is good because we have a very limited amount of food on us. And where we're headed, there is not a whole lot of opportunity to get food from our environment. If we settled in the swamp, there'd be like swamp turtles and stuff like that, but where we're headed, it's tough people. Actually, Hella, quickly double back and let's see if we can't slap his clothing on. Yeah, why not, right? Any opportunity to look less like a slave is good. So minimum ex-slave is 1%. So they were ex-slaves, but they're at a minimum. The minimum percent. I don't really mind bringing ex-slaves. In fact, that's kind of the point. That's kind of my goal. So as a result, you know, if I have a bunch of people that are constantly mistaken for slaves, I'll take it. Are you a rebel? No, you're just, yeah, you're a rebel farmer bone dog. Alright, so I'm going to switch back my way, trying to walk on the road towards the Leviathan coast. The real danger here is, of course, oh, here's some Western Hive caravan. I'm not, you all voted that I'm not restricted talking to them. They have some shoddy legs. That's about it. They don't really have much. Oh, but you know what? I can trade them these animal claws, which are not nothing. Cool. Back to following thorns. And so one of the oh no, don't harass me. God, I hate when they do this. One of the things that I'm sort of curious about is, will the Adventurers Guild mod work if I live in the Leviathan coast on an island? Maybe, but I might need to make an outpost to make it easier. So the idea with that mod is to start to explain some of the mod loadouts that you all voted for. Well, let me go one at a time. So Hives Expanded adds in a whole lot of arms and armor and different hive types so that the each hive is a lot more unique and tougher too. The Southern Hive, for instance, is a lot tougher. So, you know, the mod warns that you should be very careful messing with the Southern Hive Queen, and that's great because my ultimate goal is to take out the hives, and if it makes her tougher, that's awesome. The more combat animations just makes the attacks look different, rather than like slash, 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 slash over and over and over and over again. I think I'm going to hang around while the caravan massacres this skimmer. Because I need the food. And then let's talk to the Terran, the Shek. Oh, that's a confusing name. They can't afford anything. Let's buy something from them so they can afford something. So she needs a skeleton repair kit, so I'll buy one of those. And sell the rest. Queen here. Let's go ahead and campfire it up. we want the raw meat to become edible for her. She's quite picky, as are the princes, about what they eat. Whereas the rest of them don't mind fowl meat, don't even mind like animal teeth and stuff like that. Sometimes they'll eat. Gross, but you know, who am I to judge? So this is vagrants versus swordsmen. Not about to get involved. It's probably one-sided. Back to the mod descriptions. The 256 recruitment limit raises how many people you can recruit. Okay, I am ex-slave, so let's kind of avoid them. To 256, obviously, and then that allows your regular squads to go up to 50, and that's a pretty nice mod as well. Of course, my combat squads will be restricted to 10, but 50 will allow me to have my home base more easily manageable, you know, with, you know, a squad of farmers and a squad of tradespeople or miners. I don't know. We'll see. But that opens up a lot of opportunity to have a very large hive. Then you also voted for tame beasties, so one of the goals of this series is to get a male and female of every animal, like a breeding pair. Now, there is no sort of animal husbandry in this game. That's just not how this game works. But when the scenario for this Kenshi series was originally proposed, that was one of the proposed goals, which is why 2 of every animal, or a pair of every animal, is my goal. Oh, there's some sort of enemy camp up ahead. I gotta be careful of that. The Adventurers Guild lore-friendly recruitment is that there's a guild that you can interact with. Basically, you pay them, and they find recruits for you based upon the specifications that you input. So if you say, I want Shek, they'll bring you Shek. If you say, I want Scorchlanders, they bring you Scorchlanders, and in my case, I'm going to be asking for hivers. I'm just going to leave these people alone. And then the last mod that you all added, I did explain a little bit, but attack slots. But the music's getting a little loud. Come on, Kenshi. Don't be so noisy. The music isn't all that... Oh, skimmer-um-a-bum. All that normalized, meaning that some of the music is much louder than other music. I really like the ambience, and I like the soundtrack. And I kind of wish there was more soundtrack and it played more often, but not when it's loud like this. Alright, so there's some sort of animal den over there, and a watchtower. And more skimmers. Now, I could be moving a lot faster, because if I just picked up my bone dog, who is a quarter of the way from maturing, I would be moving faster. Alright, so there's some sort of animal nest right here. Wait, right here? Really? I don't see anything. Are these... Nope. Okay, well, they wandered away. What can I say? We're pretty close to the northern coast. Now, the real issue with the northern coast, it's swarming with cannibals. I'm absolutely okay with the difficulty imposed on me about surviving in an area with swarmed by cannibals. That is fun to me, but I definitely gotta be careful. Alright, so bone dogs. Adult bone dogs. Good food, but again... This is a bone dog nest or whatever. So there's quite a lot of them, as you can see, crawling around. I'd be a little bit outnumbered if I picked a fight with them. And now they're talking about some of the lore. About cities that were absolutely raided by the Holy Nation. Oh, some fights going on over here. It is samurai. So there's still some UC that are patrolling around here. As you can see, there's even a guard outpost over here. I'm not going to know what kind of guard outpost unless I get closer, but, ooh, and that's a... Okay. So the UC are right next to a giant... this is about to turn into a giant brawl. The United Cities, are about to go to war with the Holy Nation. And I'm just going to stand back and kind of watch, as I'm not about to get my head lopped off by Holy Fuzzy Wuzzies, because they would be kill on sight with me. The only one they might not kill on sight is my bone dog, funny enough. So we'll just see who's likely to win. I'm not sure. I'd love to be able to pick the dead here, but it's not all that safe. If the United Cities lose, I probably have to skedaddle. And they look like they're going to lose, because pretty much they're all dead. Oh. And... Yep. Are they talking about me? Yep, they're talking about me. I am an agent of darkness. Whoa. Okay, so let's go ahead, pick up the bone dog. And I move at 19. They move at 18. Haha, loser. Make sure everyone moves fast enough. Hela does not, but he can take off his pants and speed up a little bit. Ahem. Speed up a little bit. Let's go ahead. Who's the slowest? Pillar. Again, pantsless. Cookie. Cookie is... How are you this slow? You're super encumbered because you're wearing a really heavy plate. I'm going to have to hand that off to someone that can carry it. Queen? No. Ron can carry it. So Cookie, hand that to Ron. And actually, that's a better armor than Ron even had. And this weighs 4 kilograms, so you might actually be able to give that back to Cookie. Okay, now that I've done all of that little management, 19. Queen is the slowest. That's cool. I'm going to give these meats off to Beep, who will pack them down. And also give some of these bolts away, too. She doesn't need so many stacks of bolts. I don't know why my game's getting a little crunchy, frame rate-wise. But, alright, let's see what we can do. It's probably just because there's so many enemies beelining for me. Alright, so now she's moving at 20. And I think 20 is the... No, Oboro... Green is now the slowest. Okay, green gives some of those to Silvershade. I'm just trying to min-max here so I can run away. I'm basically going to run away from everything. So 21, 20. So Hela and Queen are the slowest. Everyone will be following Queen. And Queen, you run south. Their fastest, I think, is 18 or 19. So I'm 2 miles an hour faster than them. So I'm... Oh, but you know what? Some of the United Cities people are getting back up. Not that I think they have a chance to fight them back. But if I do a big roundabout juke, I might be able to get by them. So what I'm actually going to do is tell everyone, all hivers for yourselves... Go full out sprinting away. I kind of ran through the cloud of them, but I overran them for sure. If some of them keep pace with me, which they might, what I could... Oh, yep, they're starting to turn around. What I'll end up doing is just stopping and murdering the few that keep pace. I'm actually surprised this Holy Sentinel can keep pace because he's wearing a lot of armor, but he's strong. Their stats dwarf mine. Like, my best soldier is half the stats of some of the people that are chasing me. So I definitely don't want to get hung up. Now, further north into the northern I'm supposed to be settled in the northwest, so I'm kind of running the wrong way. Not by choice, but by I'm being chased. Yeah, there's still a pretty healthy contingency of soldiers on my bum. But I'm running them through a cloud of cannibals. These cannibals, again, not quite as fast as I am. So as long as I stay in full sprint, in like basically panic sprint, I should be okay. I'd like my group to converge together. You know, this squad is not so much the Queen's Guard, is the Queen's Escort at this point. Yeah, because Hela here runs at 20, they're running at 18. It does not feel like I'm running 2 miles an hour faster than them. But, I'll do my best to just keep running. Alright, so I'm going to keep running up ahead. Now, some of the Holy Fuzzy Wuzzies are fighting some of the cannibals. The Holy Sentinel just got bashed up a little bit. He's decided to chase me. He hates me more than cannibals. Cool. Now I know how the people of a Neil Blomkamp movie feels. If I pronounced his name right. Ha! Yeah, eat it. This Holy Sentinel, even though he has stats dwarfing that of all the people around them because of the 3 attack slots, he's going to get jumped hard because previously, you know, you kind of just got attacked one by one, and now that's not the case, not even a little bit, which is great. The advantage of attack slots 3. Alright, so the only one that's still after me is this Holy Sentinel. All of the other cannibals are stopped. I just discovered, I think it's a Mad Cat's village, if memory serves, but I'm not sure. But either way, I don't want this Holy Sentinel chasing me, so what I'm going to do is slow time down a little bit. Let's put thorns down. And have my crossbowmen open fire on Le Moron. Now, he's going to be tough to take down because he's well armored, but as long as I kite him well enough, I'm faster, so he won't be able to get to me. Plus, his head and stomach is almost destroyed. I do find it funny how Queen, like, sort of waddles like a duck. It's just like a weird combat animation when she's trying to reload and run at the same time. Now, I don't know if this Sentinel realizes it or not, but he's just entered a very dangerous game of tag, where I'm basically not going to let him tag me, and he wants to tag me because he'll die if he doesn't. And I'm keeping my meleeers out of it because, honestly, given my equipment level and my toughness and all that, the likelihood of true and honest dismemberment or even decapitation from one hit from this guy is approximately non-zero. I feel like Hydralisks running from, I don't know, I guess Terran didn't have any meleeers, but Zealots or something like that. It is funny to see the, okay, he's bleeding out pretty hard. To see the, like, combat AI try to keep retargeting me and not knowing what to do. Oh, a hit for 0. Fully armor mitigated. Now, getting him down will be somewhat of a feat, but he has some pretty good gear. So, there is definitely an advantage to doing it. And surely I'm using up a lot of bolts, but this is good crossbow practice. Oh, come on. How about a hit for not 0? Green, you're supposed to be able to shoot green fruit off of someone's head. Can you shoot his head? Forget the green fruit. Just go for the green. Go for the red gory guts of his body. There we go. 13. 0. Yeah, he's pretty wounded. I just need to make sure that I don't misstep. These attacks of 1 are not fun. Plus, this is an Ironman Dead is Dead, so if Queen dies, that's it. I'd rather not have you be having your entertainment cut short like that. So I'll just be extra cautious. At some point, Queen will no longer be a combat character, or if she is, she'll be with the Queen's Guard, escorting her on probably diplomatic recruiting missions, where she is fast enough to bail on any fight that endangers her, and, oh yeah, it's over. I've got the upper ground. Alright, so he's got bucket helmet, that's cute. The holy chest plate. I'm stripping you naked, dude. You caused me enough grief. But, I just wanted to... Yep. Alright. Well, we won. A moral victory. I don't feel all that victorious, given the amount of, finagling and fleeing that took. The holy plate measured side by side with Ron's. Oh, I just gave that to Beep. No, where did I drop that? Who did I drop that to? Ah, Silver Shade. 20. It's a little bit better, but it has a lot more penalties and worse coverage, I think. Yeah, it covers the arms a lot worse, but it does cover the stomach and chest more, or stomach more. I don't know. What I could do is give it to Beep. It's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So the protectors here, I guess we'll go to Oboro. Or maybe Hela. No, should go to Oboro. Hela's probably going to become a bowman. Because he's a prince. I just don't have a bow yet. Alright. So, moving on. This is the beautiful northern coast. It's expansive and open and full of cannibals. I should be pretty much free of the influence of the Holy Nation by now, though. Alright, so this is owned by... Who are you in? Dead Cats. Okay, cool. Someone's targeting Meat Pants. Oh, it's a Bone Dog. Okay, well... How's my ammo situation looking? Oh, I should hand over this combat cleaver, but the combat cleaver's almost, given its weight and all that, probably worth selling more than anything else. Because all the people that need weapons probably aren't strong enough to really wield that. They might be. Alright, so let's make a quick meal out of this Bone Dog. And now I'm using Ron to kind of be the lure, the bait, to keep him away from the crossbow. Oops. Let him get a little close. Alright. That pissed Ron off. That also, the fact that Queen got attacked pissed Peep off. They're committing to a real attack. Alright. And it's dead. Ron's going to take everything but the meat. Queen's going to take the meat. Because we need food. Oh, they ate all but one of the raw meat so quickly. Who are you? You look like just skeletons? Okay. They're not going to pay me any attention if I don't pay them any attention. Queen ate that, I believe? Yes, good. It's tricky because everyone can eat dried meat, but she can't eat everyone else's food. A bunch of goats. So I have to make sure that she gets to eat the stuff she wants. Alright, so the Dead Cat's Village, I could go into the lore about it, but... oh, here's some scrawny cannibals beating up, or trying to beat up the goats. The goats are going to win. What is this, a little goat? Okay, Dead Cat Fisherman. Hivers love fish. Oh, they're currently under attack by some scrawny cannibals, but, these cannibals are not likely to survive. They do have basic first aid kits, though. I have no idea why cannibals have basic first aid kits, because they don't seem the type to care about human life. But I will happily fire upon the downed ones, because it's funny. Well, guys, that's about all the time I have for this episode. In fact, it ran a little long, so I wanted to thank everyone that went and voted. I'm going to leave the poll up, even though the poll decisions have been made, just so that people can review it, look at it. And I'm always curious how many more votes after the poll has closed I accumulate. This is something I've always done. If you have any tips, tricks, feedback for me, drop me a line, and next episode, I'll probably try to drop a flag in the ground and claim some territory as my own. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting. I'll catch you all later. Adios.